Why they saying YNW Bortlen snitching on Melly gang? Why they saying he snitching? I've been seeing this shit all over the internet. We finna see what's going on, man. I don't know if he's snitching, what he doing. They saying he gonna fry Melly. Man, we finna get into it, bro. We finna see what's going on with Cuff Boys, man.
Mr. Henry, I'm not quite sure how the lawyers managed to do this, but
the judge is even shocked. Like, how this guy was facing 5 life sentences.
I guess at some point after the fact, the state wants to take a proffer from you or have a discussion with you, ask you some questions about whatever that may be.
I mean, they gotta know that he's gonna testify, right? That's the only way this works. The state wants a proffer. The peace sign at the camera. Bro's like, hey, see you, Melly. You're cooked, but I'm out. YNW Bortlen just took a no contest plea that changes everything for Melly's trial. Today, he has to give the state a proffer. And in Melly's trial, he will testify and be asked, quote unquote, a couple questions. Bortlen just got the greatest plea deal of all time. The state doesn't care about him. They only care about Melly. They didn't want to go to trial separately and show the strategy to Melly's lawyers. I got destroyed over the weekend for saying he was going to take this plea and testify, and that's what's happening. Holy shit, here we go. Will he take the plea? He's got to, right, bro? 16 years. He's got to do it. He's facing 5 life sentences. He's going to do it. I've been thinking about it the whole weekend. He's been thinking about it the whole weekend. He's taking this plea. Look at him. He about to take this plea. This lawyer's like, you sure? You taking it, right? There's Bortlen's lawyer, Haddad. Why am I getting the vibe that he's taking this plea? Like it's already happening. So they're going to ask him. By the way, the state did not want to go to trial on this week. I don't think they were even prepared to. So they're probably offering him this just because of that, by the way. But they also just only want Melly. They don't give a shit.
I ain't gonna lie, Bortlen Melly. I mean, damn, I said Bortlen Melly. Bortlen lawyer, bro. That nigga look like he on drugs. I'm talking about him right here. He look like he on drugs. Go, why do he look like that?
About Bortlen. I just don't see him not taking it. It's too good of a deal. Is this negotiations right now? Why are they whispering to him? They were just talking to the state. Are we watching plea negotiations? Bro, I think that's what we're watching. Melly's family's in there. Probably looking at him like that.
State, are you ready for me to go on the record? Yes, Your Honor. Defense, you ready for me to go on the record? Yes. All right. Court, are you good? Okay, let me go back on the record. This is on the top of my page 5, State versus Cortland Henry, 19-1871 CF10A and 23-10643 CF10A. So I had set this afternoon the deadline as to whether or not Mr. Henry wanted to accept the state's offer or not. We're set to go with jury selection tomorrow morning. So Mr. Haddad or Mr. Nascimento will go forward to change the plea this afternoon. And state, is it the same terms that you discussed previously? Is there anything different?
No, Your Honor, that has changed. Correct.
He's taking it. I fucking knew it, dude. Everyone on TikTok and YouTube were frying me. They were saying he's not going to take it, and the terms have changed. I got called a fed about 50 times for saying he's going to take it, and he's going to snitch. I'm telling you.
So the preforms to me look like on the 19.
Let's be real, bro. Any street nigga that's facing 5 years and 16, whatever the fuck is, I know it's like 5 years or something, whatever. If you facing 5 life sentences, gang, you're going to take that 16-year plea deal. I don't give a fuck who you are, gang. You're going to take it, bro. You're going to take it. And I hate delusional niggas that be like, man, I ain't never snitch on my friends. I ain't never do this. And you're going to take it, gang. We know you is. Like, niggas be overly delusional in the streets, bro. Like, of course he gonna take it. He not finna try to save Melly, nigga. You think he cares about Melly, gang?
Case as to the 2 counts of accessory after the fact, as well as to all 4 counts. The 23 case.
Oh, Melly is so cooked. If he has to testify at all, Melly is cooked.
All sentences work concurrently with one another. It looks like there's no restitution in the 23 case. In the 19 case,
he's going to snitch.
Reserving restitution and ordering it payable. That's going to be to Terry Bagley as well as Ashley Phillips.
Yes, sir. We've spoken to them and they don't anticipate there being any restitution.
Okay. So I'll give you 120 days to tell me the amount.
Yes, sure. They are present as well, so I'm going to ask you that form.
Mr. Henry, I'm going to put you under oath and I'm going to ask you some questions. If I ask you something you don't understand, please let me know. I'll try to ask you a better question, okay? As loud as you can so the court can get down all the answers, okay? Raise your right hand. Swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth? You can put your hand down. Please state your full name. How old are you? How far did you go in school? Do you read and understand the English language? Are you presently under the influence of any drugs, medication, or alcohol? Have you ever been treated for a mental illness? Are they giving you any medication in the jail right now? How are you feeling this afternoon? Your head is clear? You understand what's going on this afternoon? You understand you're resolving 2 pending felony cases this afternoon? Mr. Haddad or Mr. Nascimento, have you seen or heard Mr. Henry say or do anything which would call into question in your mind whether he understands what's going on? All right, so Mr. Henry, it's 2 cases, sir. I'm going to go one at a time. In case number 19-1871 CF10A, this is before the agreement you made with the state, before the deal you made with the state. You were charged as follows: counts 1 and 2 with murder in the first degree with a firearm. Those are capital offenses. The maximum and mandatory penalty is life in Florida State prison. Counts 3 and 4 are accessory after the fact of murder in the first degree. Those are each first degree felonies. The maximum penalty is 30 years in Florida State prison. In case number 23-10643 CF10A, you're charged in count 1, tampering with a witness in a capital felony. That is punishable by life in Florida State prison. Count 2, directing the activities of a criminal gang. That's a first degree felony. Again, punishable up to life in Florida State prison. Count 5 is conspiracy to commit tampering. Again, as it relates to a first degree murder charge, that is punishable by a maximum penalty of life in Florida State prison. And count 7, unlawful use of a two-way communication device. As charged, that's a second degree felony. The maximum penalty is 15 years in Florida State prison. So, sir, again, before the agreement you made with the state, before the deal you made with the state, your maximum exposure here was life in Florida State prison, followed by 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 75 years in Florida State prison. Sir, do you understand all the pending charges and the maximum possible penalties involved? And it's my understanding that you want to resolve both cases today. Is that correct? Yes. And that resolution is an agreement you've reached with the state, the terms of which are as follows. Number 1, in the 19 case, you're going to plead no contest to both counts of accessory after the fact. In the 23 case, you're going to plead no contest to all 4 counts as charged. In exchange for that, the state is going to null process, that is, drop the 2 first-degree murder cases.
When does that ever happen? They don't care about this guy. They want Melly. You're gonna have him testify, bro. This makes no sense. And they didn't want to go to trial. They weren't ready to go to trial this week. That's what's happening. They also didn't want his trial to happen before Melly's. They'd have to show a lot of the same evidence about the murder, how they would strategize it for Melly, so then Melly's lawyers would see it.
So, Mr. Henry, what it's going to be is 2 counts of accessory after the fact, tampering with a witness in a capital.
Man, more to the story, man. Leave the streets alone, bro. Leave the streets alone, bro. Nobody's going to keep it real. Nobody's going to keep their mouth quiet. None of that's going to happen, bro. So it's just best for you to stay out the streets and do what you got to do. Niggas not going to do 10 years behind you, bro. They not going to do 20 years, 25, nothing. Y'all niggas need to stop thinking that shit. Like, that's what's up.
Felony and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. In exchange for that, I'm going to adjudicate you guilty on the 2 accessory counts as well as the tampering count. I'm going to sentence you to 10 years in Florida State prison. That will be followed by 6 years of reporting probation. In the unlawful use of a two-way communication device, that's a second-degree felony. The maximum exposure. It's the second as charged, I believe. It's a third, except as it relates to a capital case. I'm happy to pick it up. Well, what did you want the negotiated sentence to be?
He got down to 10 years. He has at least 2 years credit time served. And I'm pretty sure you do like 85% of your sentence in Florida. That's what I've seen before. What's 85% of 8 years? Like 6 years, 6.5 years?
All right, so sir, as to that count, it's going to be adjudication of 5 years in Florida State prison. So the 2 accessory counts as well as the tampering count, those come with 6 years of reporting probation after the Department of Corrections sentence. I'll give you credit for all the time that you've served in both cases.
I think you watching right now need to book a doctor.
Currently, all counts in all cases, that is at the same time with each other. I'm going to have to impose mandatory court costs payable to Terry Bagley and payable to Ashley Phillips and reservists the amount. I'm going to give the state 120 days to tell me the amount of that restitution. If they fail to do so within 120 days, there will be no restitution. If they come back with an amount and the attorneys agree on the amount, I will impose that as another condition of your sentence to pay back that restitution. If they come back with an amount and the attorneys do not agree on the amount, I will conduct a restitution hearing. Sir, lastly, and I want to make it very clear on the record, and it's unrelated to this negotiated change of plea, I guess at some point after the fact, the state wants to take a proffer from you or have a discussion with you, ask you some questions about whatever that may be. What I want you to understand, sir, is I guess that's part of this negotiated resolution, but your answers to any of those questions, whatever they might be, have no bearing on me and have no bearing on this negotiated resolution. In other words, the deal you negotiated is the deal you negotiated, and that's the ballgame.
Melly is fried. Melly is so cooked. He's so cooked.
Understand all that, sir? Have you had enough time to talk to your lawyers about all that? They've answered all your questions? You're sure that that's what you want to do? because I want to emphasize, Mr. Henry, and I'm going to do this again at the end of my plea colloquy, whether you resolve the case by way of a negotiated plea or an open plea to me, or you resolve the case by way of a trial, it doesn't matter to me at all. But due to the resources that have been devoted to this case, I have 250 jurors summoned for jury duty starting tomorrow. So I want to be very thorough with you here this afternoon, because if you wake up tomorrow or the next day and you decide you changed your mind and you want to resolve this case, both cases, by way of a jury trial, that's not going to happen. All right? If you want to have a trial, the trial starts tomorrow. If you want to accept the deal, you can accept the deal today. But there's not going to be any buyer's remorse, in other words, because I've given you plenty of time to think about this, talk to your lawyers about it, talk to your family about it. I talked to you about it last week. Kind of looks like your lawyers probably did something or other to get a better disposition for you as of this afternoon.
Yeah, because the state doesn't want to go to trial. They want Melly. They didn't want to show their strategy. That's how this fucker just got 10 years from 5 life sentences.
So understanding all that, you've had enough time to talk to your lawyers about all that. That's what you want to do. So, sir, has anyone forced you?
So I ain't gonna lie though, it's so crazy to me though, cause I wonder like, how do they know who did it? How do they know Melly did it? What if it Bortlen did it and Melly didn't do it for real? Or like, I'd be wondering that shit. Why they think it's Melly so much? Like, I really want to know that, bro. Y'all know, bro. Let me know in the comments, gang. Like, how do they know that is? Why do you think it's Melly over Bortlen? I'm not saying Bortlen did it, but I'm saying like, why they y'all on Melly? Cause I guess, cause he the superstar. I don't know. Target. I don't know. I guess cause with his records when he was younger, or the shit he did, so they probably think he's still doing. I don't know. I'm just guessing. I don't know. Y'all let me know though.
Threatened you or coerced you in entering these pleas. If I accept your pleas, there will not be a trial in either one of these cases. Do you understand? If I accept these pleas, there's a whole bunch of constitutional rights you are giving up. I want to make sure you understand all of those rights. You have the right to maintain your plea of not guilty and have a trial in each case. You have the right to present defenses, to file motions and other pleadings in support of your defense. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to have the state prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to confront and cross-examine the witnesses against you. You have the right to appeal any decisions that I may have made up to this point, or any rulings I might make in a future trial. By entering this negotiated resolution today, you are giving up all of those rights. The matter is going to be resolved today, right now, this afternoon. Is that what you want to do? Are you satisfied with your lawyers? Have you had enough time to speak with them? Have they answered all your questions? Are you satisfied with all the work that they have done for you? Sir, I've got 2 identical plea forms here entitled Plea of Guilty or No Contest to Criminal Charges in Circuit Court. Each one has your name on the top, your initials on the left-hand side, front and back, and your signature on the back. Did you go over both of these forms? Any questions about what's on either of these forms? And is that your signature on the back of each form? Sir, paragraph 11 of each form that you signed reads as follows. I acknowledge that my attorney and I have reviewed any discovery disclosed by the state. My attorney and I are unaware of any physical evidence for which DNA may exonerate me. In other words, sir, if there's any physical evidence in the case that we could test for DNA, that DNA evidence would not tell me that you were not one of the people in that vehicle when these crimes occurred. But actually the opposite would be true. If there was any such physical evidence that could be tested for DNA, that DNA evidence would tell me that you were one of the 2 people that was inside this vehicle when these crimes occurred. Sir, do you agree with that statement? State, do you agree with that statement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, do you agree with that statement? Mr. Henry, understanding everything that I have talked to you about up to this point, do you still want to go ahead and resolve both cases today, right now? Defense, is he stipulating to a factual basis for the purpose of each plea in both cases?
Yes.
And if he's entitled to a PSI, defense, are you going to waive that as to each case?
Absolutely.
State, is there anything else that you need me to do before I take this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. So, Mr. Henry, again, 2 cases. We're going to do one at a time. In case number 19, 1871 CF10A, as to count.
There's Melly's family. I mean, they got to know that he's going to testify, right? That's the only way this works. The state wants a proffer.
3, accessory after the fact to murder in the first degree. And as to count 4, accessory.
And like, as Melly brother or whatever, like his whole family, not just his brother, but I know this shit is like very frustrating. Like, I know this shit is, it's a lot, gang. Like, I just know they be going through hard times, bro, cause that shit ain't no joke, bro. You got a family member incarcerated for 6 years now. Don't know if he coming home or not. He find a life sentence. I don't know what he find. I think he find a life sentence or a death penalty. One of them. But it's like, you don't wanna go through that shit, bro. That shit ain't funny, bro. That shit ain't fun. That shit ain't lit. Like, this shit is lame, bro.
after the fact as to murder in the first degree. How are you going to plead, sir? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? In case number 23, 10643 CF10A. As to count 1, tampering with a witness in a capital felony, and count 7, unlawful use of a two-way communication device. How are you going to plead, sir? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? I will accept your no contest pleas as to each. I'm going to find a factual basis to support each based upon my review of each electronic probable cause affidavit as well as your stipulation in court here today. I'm going to further find that you have freely, voluntarily, and intelligently waived your rights, that you have knowingly entered each plea with the advice of competent counsel who you've told me that you are satisfied with, that you understand the nature of the charges and the consequences of the plea. Accordingly, and pursuant to the negotiated agreement, I will sentence you as follows. In case number 19, 1871 CF10A, as to count 3 and count 4, I will adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 10 years in Florida State Prison. That will be followed by 6 years of reporting probation. I will impose mandatory court costs. Pursuant to 943.325, I will need a set of your prints and DNA. Pursuant to 938.27, I will impose a cost of prosecution of $100. Sir, I'm also ordering restitution in that case payable to Terry, T-E-R-R-I Bagley, B-A-G-L-E-Y, and Ashley, A-S-H-L-E-Y Phillips, P-H-I-L-L-I-P-S, and reserving as to the amount. I'm going to give the state 120 days to tell me the amount of the restitution. If they fail to do so within 120 days, there will be no restitution. If they come back with an amount and the attorneys agree on the amount...
I don't think he understands what restitution is. He just looked around confused. You got to pay some victims' families, brother.
All of these sentences, all counts, both cases, will run concurrently. That is at the same time with each other. I will give you credit for all the time that you have served.
All the time served? He been in jail for a long time, bro.
I'm looking at the plea forms, the 23 case. They have 707.
I think Bortlen been in jail. I think Bortlen been in jail since 2023. And Melly been in jail since 2019. Boy, shit. I don't know how, boy, man.
Days credit for time served. In the 19 case, 1,348 credit for time served.
He has 5 years credit time served. He got bail at one point, so I wasn't sure how long he was out. He's going to be out in a few years. If it's a 5-year sentence and then you serve it like 85% of it, he's going to be out in 3.5 years. The state does not give a fuck about this guy, bro. They only want Melly. This is insane.
All right, Mr. Henry, I'm not quite sure how your lawyers managed to do this, but I wish you good.
Not sure how your lawyers managed to do this because the state is fucking crooked, bro. They only want Melly. This is insane. The judge is even shocked.
And see, the reason I say why the reason they probably only want Melly, bro, because Melly got all the money. He got all the fame. He got all the supporters. He got all this and that. They gonna aim for the superstar. They gonna aim for the breadwinner. They don't care about the middleman or the second nigga. Or they don't care about that, bro. That's how it go though.
Like how the fuck this guy was facing 5 life sentences. The deal of a lifetime. He's looking for family. This is insane. Is he looking at Melly's family? The peace sign at the camera. Bro's like, hey, see you, Melly? You're cooked, but I'm out. I'm out in fucking 2 years. And here we go. It's over. Melly is so fried. All right, more information. Bryson Ben Paul, shout out him. Haddad spoke to the media after this. Feel good for the kid. I've been on this case 6 years. It's a fair resolution for him. The state was fair. Yeah, more than fair, brother. He gets 1,000 days and the other one he gets 700 days. On the message this sets for Melly, there's no message that I see. There are 2 different people, 2 different cases. Facts are different for both. Bottom line is Bro testified on what Bortlen have to do, and will he have to testify against Melly? A couple questions, that's it. He's not going to be a witness. Oh, this is worse than what Gunna did. This is way worse. They're trying to say it's a no contest plea. He's not admitting guilt. He's going to have to give a statement and testify. This is way worse. I think it's important to know that 1, today you did not plead guilty. He pled no contest, and so he hasn't really admitted anything. And there's no anticipation that he's going to be called. The state knows what their strengths were and what our strengths were, and that's how you resolve it. I've got the same thing going on in other places. You know, we resolve cases before trial. Sometimes with a very favorable outcome. I prefer it to be in trial, but what are you going to do? There's some things you can't turn down. The state said, we're going to drop 2 counts of first-degree murder if you want to resolve it. People have to do jail time, but the alternative is very difficult. He could be out at 30, 31 years old. Just a few questions on the stand. And this guy's getting a proffer today. Melly is so beyond cooked. Hit subscribe. Love you guys. Peace out.